Beautiful ergonomics versus substantial beauty. A 2-in-1 panel versus dual displays. If you're in the market for a 2017 flagship, your current list is narrowed to two very different approaches to building a phablet. I'm Jaime Rivera with Pocket Now, and this is LG G6 versus HTC U Ultra. Off the bat, the first thing to note is that this comparison almost seems unfair. I mean, by simple looks, you'd think that we're comparing a regular-sized smartphone with a phablet. But that's actually not the case. Both the LG G6 and the HTC U Ultra offer a 5.7-inch display, but with a very different approach to design ergonomics. About the only thing similar about these devices is that they are gorgeous slabs of metal and glass that are striking from a distance and feel great in the hand. And that's just about it. The differences begin with the fact that the U Ultra is a whopping 14 millimeters taller, 8 millimeters wider, and 7 grams heavier than the G6, where the only spec that they share is really thickness. And so if one device is significantly larger than the other, but both are just as thick, you'd wonder why only the smaller one includes a headphone jack, and why only the smaller one has a camera that's flush to the chassis. Or worse, why the smaller phone has 10% more battery than the larger one. LG engineers have clearly taken miniaturization more seriously than HTC in 2017. In the rest of the specs, we are looking at similar phones, the same Snapdragon 821, the same 4 gigs of RAM, the same options for expandable storage, even if the U Ultra sports double the base storage than the G6 at 64 gigs. Both devices have Quick Charge 3.0 through USB-C, but only the G6 includes wireless charging, even if both devices are made of glass. And another spot where the G6 wins is in the inclusion of IP68 water and dust resistance, where the U Ultra's rating is still not really mentioned anywhere. A partial hardware win for the U Ultra is that it follows on HTC's legacy of providing a great audio experience with the headphone jack, using the company's U-Sonic approach by tailoring headphone audio to your surroundings, and also the usual dual-firing speakers with a tweeter at the top and a woofer at the bottom.
But after a few more days shooting, we do see a few subtle differences.
Now, in the case of the G6, Juan's Real Audio Review has already proven that the device can go really close to HTC audio quality when it comes to the headphone jack performance. About the only thing you're not going to like is being able to muffle the single firing speaker at the bottom, even though it can get really loud.
After the Nougat update, but I have noticed that it only gets better and better the more I...
And then when it comes to the partial hardware wins for HTC, we have this gorgeous Super LCD 5. Sure, the IPS panel on the G6 is very beautiful and accurate in color reproduction, but HTC's panel wins in brightness, visibility in direct sunlight, and how well it inhibits blacks and punches reds to AMOLED territory. Where the G6 wins when it comes to the display is really ergonomics. We have a crazy 79% screen-to-body ratio with this taller 2x1 display that's also narrower than your standard smartphone. This leads to a phablet that doesn't really feel like a phablet in one hand, where the U Ultra is just large for the sake of being large, with just a crazy 67% screen-to-body ratio. Really inefficient overall. What's portrayed on these displays is also a clear sign of more efficiency from LG. LG's launcher seems to be more fit to saturate with icons, where HTC seems to need to update the U Ultra with a launcher that allows for a more denser grid. Liking either of these launchers is a matter of taste. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm still a fan of HTC Sense. LG also offers an always-on display that I find very helpful, but I'm going to give this one to the secondary display of the U Ultra, which does provide added functionality. At the moment of this comparison, HTC had actually figured out how to get us the HTC Sense companion application to make this display even smarter. But since AI needs to actually learn from your behavior over time, we'll leave our comments on that for the final review. I've been using both the G6 and the U Ultra as my two devices for the last week. Phone calls feel about the same on both, with a minor punch and clarity on the G6, but both devices handle phone calls and data admirably over AT&T. Battery life is where things get mixed, as neither of these devices is what I'd call great. Even if the G6 sports a larger battery, I find that the battery drain is pretty much the same on both devices, which means you'll probably get through a day of moderate use. Notice, probably. On a high note, both devices handle graphics-intensive games great given the similarities of their respective spec sheets. But if you want to talk differences, let's go through these cameras. We have a 12 ultra-pixel shooter versus two 13-megapixel cameras on the G6, a standard and a wide. This means we're comparing 1.55 microns on the U Ultra versus 1.12 on the G6 on both sensors, even if we have f1.8 aperture on both standard cameras, and I'm talking the U Ultra versus the G6, not both cameras on the G6, they actually have different apertures. This has led to some of the most beautiful photos I've seen from an HTC device, with amazing bokeh, saturation, and detail. But we also know the G6 is no slouch in these departments, and all the while winning with the added value of the wide-angle camera, for those shots that you simply cannot get with a standard camera on a smartphone. I mean, I can't deny just how much I love the functionality that LG provides here. But really, don't waste your time in trying to judge either of these when it comes to photo quality or which one does a better job in day or night. Both devices do just great, and I also feel the same about video and stability. The main question is which phone does more of what you want, and in my personal preference, I just cannot live without this wide-angle camera on the G6. It's been my favorite, hands down. And really, I think that's the best segue to end this comparison. I almost feel bad for the U Ultra because this would have been a great phone for 2016. It still is one of the most beautiful devices that I've seen today, but I just cannot see this device winning a competition at a time when design efficiency has overtaken 2017 with devices like the LG G6. For almost the same hefty price tag, the LG G6 seems to be the most versatile and smarter buy of the two, and definitely the device that I would recommend from these two. Folks, just like this, we've got more coverage on the G6 and the U Ultra coming up very soon, so make sure you follow us on social media and hit that subscribe button down below for more videos like this one. You can also follow me on Twitter, Jaime_Rivera, or on Instagram at Jaime Rivera. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like what you saw. I am Jaime Rivera. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.